Good evening. Former President Bill Clinton has traveled to North Korea, one of the darkest and most mysterious nations on earth, and tonight is flying back to the United States with two American journalists who've been held there since March. The former American president met with the North Korean dictator Kim Jong-il today. Shortly thereafter, we learned the two American women had been pardoned by the government for their alleged crimes. Then we learned they've been cleared to go home. We're going to get our report on this tonight to start us off from our chief foreign affairs correspondent, Andrea Mitchell. She is in Kenya tonight, traveling with the other Clinton, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. Andrea, good evening.
Good evening, Brian. North Korea's state-run television made it official tonight, saying that the two women have been given special pardons by Kim Jong-il in response to that extraordinary visit to Pyongyang by former President Bill Clinton. The former president and husband of the Secretary of State shocked the world when he landed in Pyongyang today. The Obama administration called it a private mission, an unmarked plane, no government officials at his side. And it was dramatic. Bill Clinton was granted an audience with Kim Jong-il, the reclusive leader rarely seen since a debilitating stroke last year, to make his appeal for the release of the women, Euna Lee and Laura Ling.
Our focus right now is on ensuring that the safety of two journalists that are in North Korea right now.
But officials told NBC News tonight's pardon of the women had been engineered during months of secret negotiations, with assurances that the former president would not leave empty-handed. One of those involved said, "We can only do this once." He wouldn't go unless he had a deal in hand. The go-between, Al Gore, the former vice president whose current TV employs the women and who personally asked Clinton to go. The North Koreans wanted the highest profile envoy, a pattern familiar to Bill Richardson, who has negotiated with them in the past.
At a time in North Korea where there's some talk of a succession, his ailments as a leader, that he wants one of his sons to succeed him. So it's a big coup for Kim Jong-il to get a former president to come.
The two women had been held in Pyongyang since March, sentenced to 12 years hard labor for crossing illegally into North Korea from bordering China while working on a story. They have been staying at a well-appointed guest house where they reportedly had an emotional meeting with Bill Clinton tonight. Tonight, their relieved families issued a statement saying they are overjoyed and grateful to President Obama, Secretary Clinton, and especially Bill Clinton and Vice President Gore. While her husband was meeting with Kim Jong-il, Hillary Clinton was arriving in Nairobi for a 7-nation trip through Africa. The State Department is trying to keep the release of the women on a separate track from those stalemated, stalled nuclear talks. But it's interesting to note that Kim Jong-il sent his top nuclear negotiator to the airport to greet Bill Clinton. And then state television said that the two men had extensive talks on a wide range of topics. So tonight, Kim Jong-il might be getting the special attention that he has long been seeking. Brian?
And Andrea, how much talk of this Korean mission was there on the mission you are there to cover, the Secretary of State's trip, or coordination or knowledge she had with the travels of her husband?
Clearly, there was a lot of coordination, but there is complete deniability. They're trying to keep it separate. They're trying to say that she was not involved. They're trying to say the White House was not involved. The whole story will come out. My understanding is that it was negotiated at the highest levels of the State Department, and then Al Gore made the request to Bill Clinton when they realized that the North Koreans were sending the signal that it would actually work out.
All right. Andrea Mitchell, again, who tonight is in Kenya covering the trip of Secretary of State Clinton. We're talking here tonight about, of course, former President Clinton's mission to North Korea. Andrea, thanks.